Hey guys, it's Papa95. This is a new series I'm starting, and it's basically Wi-Fi battles. So this is a battle up against one of my friends, and he starts off with an Altaria, and I start off with my Fortress. So right here, he goes for the Dragon Dance. That actually was not a good move on his part, because I am packing Gyro Ball on this Fortress. But here I just go for the Toxic, just to get off some poison damage every single turn. And right here he's going to go for the Dragon Pulse. Of course, Fortress is a boss when it comes to defenses, so I take that pretty dang nicely. And I go for my Gyro Ball, which is increased power because Altaria boosts up its speed right here. Takes some poison damage right there, and starts charging up for a Sky Attack. I was almost 100% sure that he would be packing a White Herb on that Altaria, but he didn't, and Gyro Ball brings it down to enough health that poison damage knocks it out. Altaria goes down and goes into his Matang. This goes for the Psychic here, but Fortress is awesomely defensive and takes that really nicely. And I just go ahead and set up my spikes here because that's what Fortress is best for. Spikes, toxic spikes, stealth rock, but I only have spikes on this set because, you know, toxic spikes is pretty useless since it does pack toxic. Along with 3 other my Pokemon as well. Meteor Mash doesn't do that much. I was like, please don't get an attack raise, and it doesn't, so I'm like, hey. And spikes again. I just really want to set up a bunch of my spikes because Gyro Ball wouldn't do much because it's not very effective. I remember what I was about to do here on this turn. Spikes fails because no more spikes. I was going to use Explosion, but I get knocked out by this Psychic. I was like, oh my gosh. No. Well, whatever. My Fortress finally goes down, and I go into my Ninetales. And I just go for the Flamethrower here. And Matang goes down. Yeah, I don't know how that knocked out in one hit because, yeah, I was expecting it to knock out, but apparently not. He goes into his Arcanine. I was, like, pretty scared about this, but I was like, you know, pretty cool duo Pokemon here, Ninetales versus Arcanine. He goes for the Outrage. I knew I could live this because Ninetales is pretty good when it comes to the defenses. So I'm going to just go for the Confuse right here, and I do pack Hex on this set, which will double in power when the opponent has a status on them. He doesn't get confused here and goes for the Outrage, and yeah, this is epic of Ninetales. Just loses 2 hit points. I was like, yes! Hex hits really bad because that was a critical hit, and it didn't do that much, but, you know, I was like, it doesn't matter. And hits itself in confusion, and I just go for the Hex one more time. This turn doesn't himself right and uses Heat Wave, but my Flash Fire activates. I was like, yes! And Hex still doesn't knock it out, and snapped out Confusion and just used Outrage here, and Ninetales goes down. So right here I was like devious thinking, meh, and I go into my Bastiodon. I don't know why I nicknamed it that. Don't ask me. It just made sense. It looks like on Google it has no meaning at all. He's forced into Outrage and doesn't do much damage because it's not very effective, and Bastiodon's defenses are awesome. So I just Toxic it, knowing that it'll go down to the Toxic damage. I was like, yeah, why use Rock Slide when it'll just go down anyway? Why show him that I have Rock Slide? He goes into a Virizion. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that I can live 1 Sacred Sword from this thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to use Toxic this turn. And then I just go down to it. I was like, okay, I know it's 4 times effective, but I thought that Bastion I was going to be able to live it with like 1 HP. So I went to my Shuckle, transferred over from Soul Silver, named Shucky. I know, it's awesome, right? Sacred Sword doesn't do much, and I go for the toxic attack. Not attack, but just toxic. And I was like really happy what I was about to do here. I was like, alright, just wait to do this whole battle. I start storing energy with my Bide! Yeah! I want to do that all battle. He just uses Giga Drain. It doesn't do that much, but I guess for a Shuckle, that actually did quite a lot. And I keep on storing my energy! Ah! Okay, not really. Giga Drains again, I'm like, please don't critical hit me. Shuckle must live to unleash its energy. So I'm like, it's time to unleash my energy! And Verizon goes down! I was like, yes! Shuckle knocked out something. I did not think that would work. So right here he goes into his mean Shadow. He uses Bounce. I'm like, no! Toxic will of course miss because he's in the air with Bounce. He comes down with Bounce, and this is the most epicest thing ever, guys. Shuckle lives with 2 HP after having 18 HP, and doesn't get paralyzed and uses Toxic. That's pretty awesome. Shuckle is a boss. But he just goes for the Bounce one more time. I don't know why he didn't use one of his other attacks. I don't know what he had. Maybe he had high jump kick and didn't want to fear missing. Or, I don't know, maybe he had Aura Sphere and just preferred Bounce. Fearing the priority attack. I don't think Shuckle can even learn any priority attacks. So my Shuckle goes down. And I go into my Mr. Mime. Whoever expected anybody with a Mr. Mime? That's why I wanted to use it so badly, because nobody would ever expect it. I do like Mr. Mime, though. Not many people like it, but I like it. Psychic knocks it out. I'm like, booyah! So he goes into his Emolga. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been trolled so hard by so many of these. And he goes for the Acrobatics, and Mr. Mime goes down. And my next Pokemon here, I remember exactly what I said. Well, shoot, I have a Water type against an Electric type. So right here, goes for the Electro Ball, and Seakeen actually takes that pretty nicely. I go for the Waterfall here. I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm ever going to win this battle. So he goes for the Electro Ball again. At this point, I was like, yeah, it was a good match. And I live. I was like, oh my gosh, I lived! Oh my gosh! And I just go for the Waterfall again, and I beat it. And Static activates, but it doesn't even matter at this point. So, that was a really good battle against my friend. So, see you guys in my next battle. Maybe not my next, but the next one I'm going to upload. Or maybe I'll upload some other video like Pokemon Black, I don't know. Well, see you guys.